Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day today. If you haven't done so, do subscribe, don't forget the bell button so you never miss an update. Now, let's discuss something that was really not expected and which has rattled the Brown family all over again. Over the years, we've seen a lot of ups and downs with the sister wives. But what just happened to Robin Brown? No one saw this coming. In a deeply upsetting turn of events, Robin, Cody Brown's only remaining wife, was rushed to the hospital after a serious fall in their new home. Robin was reportedly carrying a box up the stairs when she lost her footing and fell down a number of them. She was badly injured. Paramedics rushed her to hospital, where doctors diagnosed she had fractured her leg and possibly other injuries besides. Needless to say, this incident has stirred up even more tension within a family already under tremendous strain. And fans everywhere are left wondering, how much more can Robin take? As whispers swirl about what really happened that day, and who was or wasn't there to help, we've taken a closer look at the details behind this unfolding situation. A fresh start turns into a nightmare. Robin had been attempting to embrace a fresh new chapter, with Cody's relationships with Meri Janelle and Christine all finally done. She'd hoped their new life in Flagstaff would be a calm place to start anew. A do-over. An opportunity to rebuild what was left of their family. The house itself is bigger than the rentals they've lived in before, and it sits high up on a steep, winding driveway. Tucked away and private, it seemed like the perfect retreat. That morning, Robin was in good spirits. She'd told a neighbor she was finally starting to feel settled. She planned to spend the day organizing boxes on the second floor. But just before 11 a.m., things took a frightening turn. Carrying a box up the stairs, Robin seemed to lose her balance and fell backward down the stairs. A family insider stated she collided with the stairs forcefully, and Cody wasn't even at home at the time. He'd left for a meeting. One of Robin's teenage girls discovered her at the bottom of the stairs, obviously in distress, and immediately called 911. Emergency crews arrived within 12 minutes. Paramedics found Robin unable to stand. Her right leg was swollen and looked out of alignment. One paramedic said, "She was in a lot of pain. It was clear the leg was broken. But honestly, what struck me more was how devastated she looked." When Cody received the call from his daughter, he came home right away. Cameras were already rolling for the new season of Sister Wives by then. Insiders reveal filming resumed as Cody jumped into the ambulance with Robin, cradling her hand as she wept. Hospital chaos and a painful diagnosis. When they arrived at the hospital, physicians confirmed the worst. Robin had a tibial shaft fracture, a clean but serious break in her lower right leg. She had bruised ribs and a mild concussion as well. "She's going to have surgery," one of the hospital aides told them. "The break is bad, recovery might take weeks, possibly even months." As she was waiting for the surgery, tension mounted in the hospital. Cody was apparently irritable with staff, insisting he have a private room for Robin because she was a public figure and should be accorded privacy. A nurse remembered, he was upset. "But we treat everyone the same here. I feel cursed." Robin's breaking point emotions flowed out after the surgery. As reported by someone on the production team of the show, Robin wept and whispered, "I feel cursed." It wasn't all because of her shattered leg. It was all of it. The family crumbling, backlash from the fans, the distance increasing between her and Cody's older children. Even rumors of favoritism have weighed on her. "She's emotionally drained," said a family friend. "She's always attempted to keep the peace. But now, she just feels totally isolated." Even her children, the friend said, are beginning to catch on to how much tension she's under. And perhaps the most poignant detail, none of the former sister wives visited her in the hospital. Meri was said to be out at a retreat in Utah. Christine was in Salt Lake City, with her fiancé David Woolley and her children. And Janelle, she was in Las Vegas with their daughter Madison. None of them phoned directly, a source at TLC said. And as if to add emphasis to the distance, Christine even put up a smiling picture from a hike, on the day Robin was undergoing surgery. Robin's pain runs deeper than a broken leg. Following her surgery, Robin Brown found herself not only physically in pain, but emotionally isolated. As one who is close to the family told Radar, she quietly informed Cody, "If the tables were turned, I would have been there for them." It was an honest, raw moment. She felt abandoned by individuals who had basically been like family. Cody's challenges and an unsteady marriage. Cody was emotionally drained already from seeing his family disintegrate over the course of a few years. So when Robin's accident occurred, it affected him deeply. Initially, he dropped everything, canceled shooting, cleared his calendar, and remained by her side. But that didn't last. In a matter of days, familiar habits reasserted themselves. He began to pace the hospital corridors, griping about being confined there. "I don't need to endure another crisis," he is quoted as saying, a crew member observed. It was like he couldn't make up his mind whether he wanted to be the hero or the victim. Robin, in agony and trapped in a hospital bed, could sense him distancing himself. She needed him basic things, such as adjusting a pillow. But Cody was becoming testy. He snapped at her for asking, one of the children told a friend. Fans react, support and skepticism. Robin's tumble was quickly picked up in the news online, with Sister Wives viewers reacting both sympathetically and skeptically. Some pitied her. Others questioned the timing. "Always something with Robin when ratings are off," wrote one Reddit comment. "Broken leg? Horrible, but excuse me if I don't believe the timing." Others were less judgmental, explaining, "She's not evil, just a person who made poor decisions. And now she's faced with the repercussions." There were even charges that TLC was milking tragedy for drama. One commenter characterized it this way: "If there's a camera in the hospital room, it's not a tragedy, it's a storyline." Cody points fingers and the exes fire back. In a candid gesture on a confessional interview for Sister Wives, Cody vented his anger. "Not one of them called to check on Robin," he declared. Obviously stung. "They always claim they care about family, but when somebody's hurting, where are they? Nowhere." That says it all. Christine and Janelle took an affront to those words. Christine posted a reply on Instagram. "Some people love to play the martyr. I choose to live in peace." Janelle's retort was brief and incisive. "Karma is a staircase," she tweeted. "Be careful how you walk." Robin comes home to a house full of tension. A week after she'd been hospitalized, Robin returned home in a wheelchair. Her leg was fully casted. Cody, looking visibly exhausted, wheeled her up a new ramp they'd constructed for her rehabilitation. "It was sad," said a neighbor who observed the scene. "She was a shadow of the woman we knew." At home, the children tried to assist as best they could, but the air was oppressive. Cody had gone back into the guest room, telling everyone he needed space to think. Robin's body will recover in time, and with plenty of therapy, but emotionally, she may be broken more than ever before. One producer confessed, "She's burned out, traumatized. She's seriously contemplating walking away from the show after this season." But Robin hasn't thrown in the towel on her family. "She still loves Cody," said a friend. "But she's beginning to wonder if he's even capable of loving anyone except himself." A turning point for the show, and the family. TLC insiders have confirmed that Robin's injury will dominate a large portion of season 19. So much so that there are rumors of a self-contained special called Robin's Fall, The Breaking Point. The producers feel that this incident may now push Cody to confront his own role in the family's downfall. "It's not just the fall," one executive indicated. "It's everything that went into it, and everything that's going to come after it." As Robin recuperates in bed, tending to body and soul, viewers are left wondering, is this it? Is this the point where all finally comes crashing down for good? What started as a series about faith, family, and the peculiar relationships of plural marriage has devolved into a tale of breakups, broken trust, broken relationships, and now a broken leg. Will Cody and Robin endure this latest hit? We'll have to wait and see. But one thing's for sure, this isn't the end of the drama. And the Brown family's story is far from over. Left behind, Cody and Robin face the fallout alone with Christine, remarried and radiant, Janelle solely concentrating on her freedom, and Meri having officially shut the door on her spiritual marriage to Cody. It appears there is no one left to stand with Cody and Robin, not even their own offspring. During what should have been a season of compassion and support, Cody and Robin have instead been greeted with silence. Emotionally, financially, relationally, they're rock bottom. And yet, nobody is showing up. This is the tale of how the once dominant Brown family fell apart, and how, when the dust at last settled, Cody and Robin were left behind, holding on to the hope that someone might still care. But gradually, agonizingly, they're coming to understand no one's arriving. A kingdom without a court. For decades, Cody Brown was at the center of a vast family kingdom. 4 women, almost 24 children, and a popular TLC show that laid bare the trials and loveliness of plural marriage. That family was loud, with cackling and bickering personalities, backyard barbecues and birthday pandemonium. Now, that bustling kingdom has silenced itself, very silently. Robin is the sole wife who remains legally married to Cody. They moved together into a spacious mansion in Flagstaff, seeking a new beginning, a tranquil chapter. But what greeted them was not tranquility but something worse. Solitude. "We used to have a family, a real one," Cody is said to have exclaimed in an emotional confessional. "Now it's just us. Everyone else walked away." How the trust unraveled. The breakdown did not occur overnight. Christine was the initial one to leave, emotionally detached from Cody for many years. Once she finally discovered true happiness with David Woolley, she never went back. Her move triggered a domino effect. Janelle was next. She found her own strength and autonomy, and after a series of fiery exchanges with Cody, she drew a definitive line, emotionally and financially. Then Meri, who had been in emotional solitude for years. She quietly verified that she and Cody were done. All 3 women pointed to the same reasons: neglect, unfair treatment, and a deep sense of disillusionment. And for each of them one name kept coming up. Robin. "She became the sun, and the rest of us were just shadows," Janelle said during a recent tell-all special. But now, with the others gone, Robin isn't soaking in sunshine. She's standing in the storm alone. Even the children have turned away of all the breakups. Perhaps the pain that burns Cody the most is being apart from his grown children, particularly those he used to have such a close relationship with. Gabe and Garrison, Janelle's sons, have publicly spoken before about being hurt during the pandemic, when Cody isolated with Robin and withdrew from the rest of the family. Sadly, Garrison died earlier this year, and Cody has been open about the agony of their unresolved breakup. "I lost him without making amends," he exclaimed through tears. "And now the others don't want anything to do with me either." Logan, Hunter, Madison, Ospen, Mykelti, even little Isabel, many have allegedly gone dark. And the pain cuts both ways. Robin's own children have experienced the bitter chill of cutoff. "It's like we're not in the family anymore." One of her older children is quoted as saying to a friend, "They don't call, they don't visit. It's like we never existed." Finances in free fall. And under all that emotional baggage is another good concern: cash. Robin's recent tumble and hospital stay were accompanied by steep medical expenses, and their enormous Flagstaff house doesn't come at a low price. While previously bankrolled by TLC's support and book royalties, the financial bedrock of the Brown family is now in trouble. Cody thought he could keep all of it going, an insider revealed. But he lost 3 wives as well as their revenues and their willingness to work together. That's a lot to rebound from. Even their relationship with TLC is said to be strained. The network doesn't know if they want to continue making more spin-offs that center around Cody and Robin specifically. Why? Fans just aren't as invested anymore. "They're not the heroes of the story," an old crew member admitted. "The audience has moved on to the wives who left." A last-ditch effort for reconciliation. In the past few months, Robin has really attempted to make amends. She's reached out in texts, left messages, even written heartfelt letters. She's called for peace negotiations, family therapy, a way back to some sort of harmony. There has been no answer. Christine, meanwhile, posted a quote on Instagram that seemed to say it all. "Some bridges are meant to burn. You weren't meant to go back." Janelle, she's doubled up on her independence. She's even purchased property alone. Christine moves on, Meri finds freedom, and Robin looks on from the sidelines. Christine appears to be thriving today, teasing about upcoming projects, maybe even her own show. Meri, on the other hand, is living the next chapter of her life. She's on the road, marketing her retreat business and happily sharing the way she finally feels independent. Robin, meanwhile, is left struggling to understand. I tried to repair it, she told a friend, according to reports. But no one wants to return. They're better off without us. The fans turn against them. What was once considered the rock of the Brown family, Robin and Cody, are now under increasing public criticism. The same fans that once understood and sympathized with their attempt to keep things together are now holding them accountable. Social media sites such as Reddit, Facebook, and Twitter are rife with complaints about feeling frustrated, calling out what many perceive as Cody's arrogance and manipulations by Robin. "This is what you get when you exclude everybody and then have the nerve to ask for sympathy," wrote one. Another was more graphic. "Cody created a kingdom, and then he destroyed it. Now he's surprised to be sitting in the ashes." Even die-hard fans have confessed they're emotionally exhausted from this plot. Some call it repetitive and draining. Robin's health continues to decline. Since her tumble, Robin's physical health has healed, but her emotional well-being is another matter. "She cries all the time," a family friend reported. "She's eating next to nothing, sleeping hardly at all. Her body's healing but her heart isn't." Certain sources claim Robin has even thought about leaving the show or withdrawing from society as a whole. "She never wanted this kind of fame," a former producer said. "At this point, it feels more like a curse than a blessing." Cody spirals as the weight becomes too much. As all of this unfolds, Cody is beginning to unravel. People close to the production say he's grown paranoid and increasingly angry. He's placing blame everywhere: on Christine, on the kids, even on the network. At one particularly heated moment, which we may see in season 19, Cody allegedly went off on the camera crew yelling, "You guys made me a villain. You made my family hate me." Even Robin is getting fed up. She supposedly encouraged Cody to seek professional assistance, not only for his marriage, but for himself. "He's spinning," she cried between sobs. "And I can't hold both of us anymore. Is there still hope? One last opportunity for healing. Even amidst all the anguish, there might still be a glimmer of hope." TLC is said to be thinking about one last reunion special, not a standard tell-all, but something else. A sort of healing summit, where all the Browns would be asked to gather, confront each other and try to make amends. But there's a catch. Most of them aren't interested. Up to this point, only Christine has answered, and her message was unequivocal. "I have nothing to say to Cody. He didn't listen then, and he won't listen now." An empty house, a heavy silence. And now it's only Cody and Robin, together in that huge Flagstaff house. The rooms are still. The phones don't ring. The voices that used to fill their lives are absent. What was once a tale of love, faith, and unity is now a narrative of loss, separation, and agonizing silence. "We gave everything to the family," Robin breathed in a very tearful moment. "And now there's no one left." She posed a question many viewers have been asking. What happens when everyone walks away? What's left when love turns bitter, and bitterness turns to silence? For Robin and Cody Brown, the response is chilling. Nothing, except one another. And perhaps, just perhaps, that may not be sufficient. Meri Brown reinvents herself. Finally, meanwhile, all of this happens. Meri Brown is finally emerging from the shadows and into her own light. Following years of public heartache, emotional loneliness, and the gradual disintegration of her spiritual union with Cody, Meri is penning a new narrative, one that does not involve being a sister wife. In 2025, she started a new business venture and is living life as an independent businesswoman. Viewers who followed her from the early seasons remember her as the quiet one, the faithful first wife who sometimes put others' needs before her own. But now, that quiet one is a memory. She's moving forward with strength and style. From heartache to empowerment, Meri's path hasn't been easy. From the emotional fallout of the catfishing scandal to Cody's public declaration that their relationship was over, she's endured more than most. But instead of staying stuck in that pain, she's turned it into purpose. Meri steps out of the shadows and into her power. For years, Meri Brown was the overlooked wife, part of a family that no longer seemed to have room for her. Quiet, calm, and frequently ignored, Meri hung around longer than Christine or Janelle, clinging to the hope that something would break. But never did. and in early 2024, 3 decades of effort later, she finally left. "I gave 30 years to that man," Meri said during a heartfelt interview on the Sister Wives Season 18 tell-all. "Now I'm giving the rest to myself." And that, in a nutshell, is what her bold new business is all about. Introducing Worthy by Meri. The big announcement came during a sunny Instagram Live. Dressed in a sleek blazer and glowing with confidence, Meri smiled into the camera and revealed her brand new company, Worthy by Meri. The concept, a lifestyle brand centered around healing, self-worth, personal growth, and empowerment, all inspired by Meri's own life experiences. "For so long I felt invisible," she said to viewers. "Like I was just surviving someone else's story. But I'm done being quiet. This is about choosing yourself, healing, and remembering that you are worthy, just as you are." A retreat like no other. At the center of Worthy by Meri is her signature retreat program, a 3-day immersive experience in the Utah mountains, hosted by her legendary Lizzie's Heritage Inn. A quaint B&B turned wellness retreat. The retreat presents a carefully planned sojourn of rest, reflection, and rejuvenation. Participants are treated to private accommodations, considerate meals, journaling, guided meditations, trauma-informed coaching, and cozy fireside conversations with Meri herself. As stated on the company's website, Worthy isn't just a retreat, it's a rebirth. And the response? Incredible. The first retreat, set for fall 2025, sold out in under 48 hours. Products, coaching, and a growing platform. But Meri's venture goes far beyond retreats. Worthy by Meri includes daily affirmation card decks, written by Meri's signature candles with names like Freedom, Unbothered, and Letting Go, personalized coaching packages, from private Zoom sessions to full 6-week empowerment programs. A YouTube channel called Reclaiming Meri, where she posts weekly videos on healing, spiritual development, and moving forward from abusive relationships. An upcoming memoir called First Wife, Last Strive. All of it is handmade or personally managed by Meri and her all-female staff, many of whom are survivors of domestic abuse or ex-polygamists, who like her have learned firsthand what it takes to begin anew. Cody's reaction, a mix of shock and regret. When word of Meri's new business reached Cody, insiders say he didn't handle it well. "She was never this motivated with me," he reportedly told a friend. Now she wants to act like some motivational guru. But his frustration seems to go deeper than surprise. Many fans believe Cody underestimated Meri for years, assuming she'd never leave the Brown family orbit. Now, as he watches her thrive while his own relationships fall apart, some say he's feeling a painful mix of regret and resentment. Christine, meanwhile, is said to be cheering Meri on from afar. And Janelle? She left a public comment on one of Meri's Instagram posts. "You deserve all the success in the world." Fans welcome Meri's return online. The response has been one of praise. On Reddit, dedicated Sister Wives fans were ecstatic to see Meri embracing her power. "It's so empowering to see Meri finally realizing her worth. She stayed too long for too little. I'd absolutely go on one of her retreats. She's lived it, she gets it. That's who I want guiding me." On TikTok and Instagram, her accounts previously with demure selfies and mysterious captions are now ablaze with motivational quotes, uplifting cheer, and self-assured photos. One read, "Healing isn't linear, but it's possible. You don't have to be a sister wife to be worthy, just a woman willing to choose herself." Behind the brand, a smart business move. Worthy by Meri isn't just a passion project, it's a smart financial move. With retreat bookings, merchandise sales, coaching programs, and growing social media influence, Meri is building multiple income streams, completely independent of TLC. According to sources close to production, Meri's building an empire, on her own terms behind the scenes. Meri Brown is not merely getting her toes wet in business, she's wading in head first. Sources close to her crew tell us that she's already employed 2 business consultants, a virtual assistant, and a personal life coach. She's even shopping for a second retreat site in Sedona, Arizona. "She's creating an empire," said one longtime pal. "And she's doing it without asking any man for permission." TLC star power. And smells a spin-off with Sister Wives viewership dipping due to the fractured family dynamic. TLC executives are reportedly thrilled by Meri's newfound momentum. Word is, multiple spin-off ideas are in development. One in particular,
a raw documentary-style series that follows her retreats and personal journey, tentatively titled Meri Unfiltered, Reclaiming the First Wife. There is also increasing rumor of a potential partnership between Meri and Janelle. The two women, formerly estranged, reportedly have reconnected, united in experiences of putting polygamy behind them and taking new steps. The potential show would be about their personal empowerment and growth, as well as what life is like outside the shadow of Cody Brown. One TLC executive termed Meri's return the most surprising and satisfying sister wives plot turn ever. Meri's message: "You don't need permission to begin again." During a recent interview on the Empowered Woman Hour podcast, Meri was questioned about what she would advise a person who feels stuck in a relationship, an occupation, or even in a position she's outgrown. Her response was brief, but profound. "You are permitted to change. You are permitted to think, 'This no longer works for me,' and move on. You don't have to ask permission of others to begin again. You merely need your own integrity and the bravery to do something about it." She went on, with her characteristic calm power. "If I can do it after playing small for decades, then anyone can." Meri's business isn't just about selling candles or leading retreats. It's about transformation.
About stepping out of the background. She's no longer the quiet wife waiting for Cody's attention, no longer holding her breath for someone else's approval. She's the CEO of her own story. She is worthy, and now she knows it. Janelle's turn. "I deserve better." And just when fans thought the surprises were over, Janelle Brown made her own bold move. In a moment that left fans applauding, and according to reports, left Cody fuming, Janelle announced her proposal to construct her dream home. Not any home, however, bigger, newer, and far more costly than the one she now shares with Robin. After all those years of putting others first, living in cramped quarters, prioritizing Cody's plural family concept over her own comfort levels, Janelle is finally opting for herself. "He did what he wanted," she explains in a future season 19 episode. "Now I'm doing what I want. And guess what? It's going to be better." The Coyote Pass disappointment. There once was a time that all four wives imagined living on the family's Coyote Pass property and building homes there. For years, fans saw them talk about house designs, property lines, and dreams of remaining close to each other. But as the family fell apart, so did the vision. Cody and Robin abandoned the common vision and purchased their own 6-bedroom house in Flagstaff, with vaulted ceilings, views of the mountains, and a large mortgage to go along with it. Janelle was left hanging. She lived full summers in a fifth-wheel trailer on the property, hoping Cody would make good on his threats to begin construction. He'd always say, "Next year, next spring. We're getting permits." Janelle remembers during a confession, "It was always going to be a delay." Meanwhile, I was living without running water, and he was drinking wine on Robin's balcony. Janelle's breaking point, and her comeback during season 18's Tell-All. Janelle affirmed she was spiritually divorced from Cody. "It was a hard choice, but one she says she had no choice but to do. He wasn't showing up for me, emotionally, financially, or as a partner," she revealed. "I finally had to show up for myself." And that's just what she's done. After leaving Cody, Janelle rediscovered her independence and grew even closer to her children, particularly her daughter Madison and son Logan, both of whom are thriving in their respective marriages. But what surprised fans most? She's not just moving on. She's building something bigger. Literally, the dream home that turned heads. In a sneak peek of an upcoming episode, cameras follow Janelle as she tours a 2-acre plot of land. Not on Coyote Pass, she's done waiting for that. This property is 15 minutes outside Flagstaff City Center, and it's all hers. "I'm done waiting," she says, looking around the empty lot with a quiet smile. And so, another chapter in the history of the Brown family unfolds. This one penned by the women who were previously supporting characters, now starring actresses in their own life story. Janelle's dream, her way. No more waiting around. No more concessions. Janelle Brown is officially creating the life and home she's entitled to. "I want to make something for myself, for my kids, for my future," she asserts to the camera. And she's not merely fantasizing, she's scheming. In a production that aired on Sister Wives season 19,
Janelle sits down with a local interior designer and architect. They roll out blueprints for her bespoke dream house, a contemporary farmhouse with 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, chef's kitchen with butler's pantry, solar panels, smart home features, home office, gym, media room, guest casita, and energy-efficient everything. The price tag, $1.2 million. It's more than Cody spent on his house, Janelle boasts with a beaming smile. And it's going to be paid for in full. How's she paying for it? Fans immediately wondered, how is Janelle financing such a large build? The key is her savvy business decisions. Between her expanding health coaching practice, Plexus profits, social media collaborations, and an LLC she started last year, Janelle's built multiple revenue streams. She also reportedly negotiated out a payment from the family trust, namely a buyout of her interest in Coyote Pass, after it became apparent Cody had no intention of developing there with her.